Welcome. I'm excited that you've joined us today to learn some information. I have a history of teaching over 20 years to postgraduate classes for doctors in both kinesiology, functional neurology, acupuncture, and nutrition. Today, what I will share with you is the most impactful. It has the greatest potential for changing people's lives in a very, very positive way. So welcome. Now, I will be sharing information most doctors don't tell you, and many don't understand or don't know. However, it is essential for you to live your life without debilitating problems so common today. Yes, it's that important. Now, what you give life? Life is that entity we've been given that allows us to be functional in the world for so many years. So your nutrition determines who you are becoming. And where is your journey through life taking you? Now, I will cover these essential topics. 1, toxins and how to reduce your toxic body burden. Secondly, your cellular nutrition. Why nutrition must be available to the cells. That is so important. And third, why hemp oil? I believe hemp oil, or CBD, is the greatest breakthrough in my 45 years in healthcare. The endocannabinoid system was discovered in the 1990s, holistic. In other words, it encompasses the entire body, and it affects every aspect of human physiology to promote the well-being of the whole body. This is a statement from Gregory Gerdeman, PhD at Eckerd College, a neuroscientist. Also, there is nothing in the history of medicine or herbal tradition like the endocannabinoid system, and that is essential for the functioning of the entire human organ system, from Sayer G., founder of greenmedinfo.com. Now, I will cover these topics. And the fourth one is the solutions for you to solve your need for each of these critical factors. See, these are the things that Genesis teaches us. It's not your genes, it's the environment of the genes. Now, one of the biggest factors that affects your cellular function and your genetic function is a silent inflammation. Inflammation is the immune system response to an irritant, and that's natural and very important. Infection is the necessary and life-saving. Without inflammation, we could not live a week without succumbing and dying from an infection. An injury, necessary and life-saving. We would not be able to heal and regenerate healthy tissue from an injury without the inflammation system. But toxins and heavy metals and chemicals also trigger inflammation. And chronic inflammation is recognized as the leading cause of most major diseases, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and so on. So let's talk about heavy metals, chemical toxins, sugar, and denatured or adulterated fats. These are the causes, the major causes of chronic inflammation. Heavy metals, they're in our food, air, and water. The dental or silver fillings are mercury, and many people have these. I grew up and received a ton of those. Fortunately, I had them taken out about 30 years ago. Now, the chemical toxins in our food, air, and water, this is a critical factor. In the last 50 years, we have introduced over 80,000 chemicals into our environment. Many have not been tested for safety with humans. We don't know if they're safe or not. About 4 million tons of toxins are dumped into the U.S. environment every year. 4 million tons. To get a picture of that, this would be a chain of 18-wheel semis, bumper to bumper, from Los Angeles to Des Moines, Iowa, each containing 27,000 pounds of toxins, and that's every year. Let's take a look at sugar. Excess sugar consumption, and that relates to most people. You just have to look at the overweight population, and this causes excess insulin. You need to force or push the sugar out of the blood into the cells, and that's where it should be metabolized or burned. But too much sugar in the cell reduces fat burning. It's got to shut off the fat burning so it can burn more sugar, and it increases fat storage because there's more sugar than the body can burn and the cells can burn. These fats are highly inflammatory. Now, bad fats, what are they? Well, they're denatured or adulterated oils. Basically, almost every oil you can buy in the grocery store is denatured or adulterated. Not everyone, but most of them. The oils are easily damaged, the most easily damaged of all nutrients. 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil you buy at the grocery store contains 6 million damaged molecules. 1 tablespoon, 6 million damaged molecules for every one of your 10 trillion cells. That sounds horrendous. I listened to that information several times. That's what it was said by Dr. Udo Erasmus, a leading expert on essential fats. Now, toxins suppress your genes from performing at their peak. For example, heavy metals suppress the tumor suppressor gene. The gene that should normally suppress tumor growth is impaired by heavy metal presence. Nutrition that gets into your cell, that is so important. And it must be complete nutrition for the genes to be designed. Nobel Prize-winning research in 1999 identified the critical cofactors necessary to cross the cell membrane. Cofactors. See, these cofactors are missing in all synthetic and isolate nutrients. It's that factor that gets it across the cell membrane. It's a carrier. Now, emotions are the third component. Emotions are primarily how you handle stress. Authorities recognize that most cancers are caused by emotional triggers. So stress causes an increase in cortisol, and for so many of us that happens every day, and your system responds with insulin, producing more insulin, and of course trying to generate the energy to handle the stressful reactions, and this often then generates a sugar craving, and so you take in more sugars as well. This leads to an increase in inflammation. So this is a really ongoing chronic cycle that feeds the inflammation. Now, you can control your response to stress without a drug. And just stay with us. That's the important component coming up. What I feel is so very important is that you will not maximize your genetic potential if you are taking synthetic vitamins. And that is 98% of the pills on the market. And that's according to a Harvard study. So the toxic environment of your cells, where does it come from? Well, spraying of crops, industrial pollution. The toxic environment of your cells can be improved by zeolite. It's a negatively charged mineral. It's from volcanic. It forms after the volcano lava hits the cold ocean water, and these crystals are formed. But this negatively charged zeolite, and then the heavy metals are positively charged. So to reduce that, you have a magnet-like reaction from the zeolite, and it catches and traps the heavy metals. Once they get inside the cell, they cannot leave. This then will eventually neutralize the negative charge of the zeolite, and the kidneys flush it out safely and easily without stressing the kidney. Now, just to give you a picture of how this can work, this is the adenosine triphosphate, ATP. It's the life source for you. These 3 molecules on the right are the phosphate, 3 phosphate molecules. And the last, between the second and third, is a very high energy bond. Normally, magnesium should trigger the binding to release that bond. Heavy metals sit in that binding site and block magnesium. Heavy metals don't trigger the reaction. But zeolite, in a nanometer size, can come into your cell, trap the heavy metal, and then when it leaves, now the magnesium is free to move into the spot and trigger the reaction to release that high energy bond. Now, you can reduce this heavy metal presence on the binding sites by using a spray. It's a nanometer size spray of a zeolite. It's a pure body, is the name of it, and we'll talk more about that as we go along here. It reaches the cells via water, ion channels for cellular performance. And there's an exclusive technology that creates this in very small nanometer sized molecules that are absorbed through the linings of the mouth. They also give much greater surface area to attract toxins. And this is, every batch of this is third-party tested to validate the size and the purity of the product. There are drops that average a mean particle size of 0.3 microns, which is the size necessary to cross the intestinal membrane. The smaller particles then are absorbed in for going through the blood and involve the systemic detox, whereas the larger particles provide digestive tract detox by trapping toxins in the intestinal lumen. So why do you want to detox? Why are these toxins? Well, they're stored in fat cells, and that's why making it hard to lose weight. You don't feel good if you start losing weight. The toxins impair memory, clarity, and focus. It reduces the immune function. To be able to think clearly, keep your focus, and then not being sick often is really a highlight of reducing the toxins. Also disrupts hormone balance. And that's something else. We want to maintain our normal hormone balance as we go through different cycles as we age, and needs to handle stress and other hormone imbalances that show up. And the toxins are everywhere: food, air, water. Research shows that it selectively binds to mercury, lead, cadmium, arsenic, radioactive particles, volatile organic compounds, and other toxins. Listed as generally recognized as safe by the FDA, and it helps balance the pH of the body. Helps balance pH of the body in a magnet-like reaction. So our modern life, busy and stressful. You all probably can relate to every picture we've got here. And our current health problems, oftentimes the vitamins with chemicals and synthetic isolates, toxic additives, this is where we seek to improve our life. And this just has not worked like it should. Now, ideas have consequences. Bad ideas have victims. For example, when I was a kid, we had this better living through chemistry. Well, it sounds good, and there have been some great things happening through chemistry that improved our lives and our function. But also, humans have not survived over thousands of years because of test tubes. And a lot of things come out of the test tubes, create victims. But we've survived in spite of these toxic inventions through the test tubes. Now, replacing old and proven false ideas is very important. Well-established proof that nearly every current degenerative health problem can be reversed with natural plant-based nutrition. Documented and shown by Erasmus, Furman, Pritikin, Ornish, Grieger, Hippocrates Health Institute, and many others. An example, super green juice. This is 44 superfoods with 9 major benefits. And you can see that it has natural essential nutrition, helps alkalize the cell. It's a natural energizer, has pro and prebiotics to help balance the bacteria of the gut, and that's a whole nother story to keep your gut bacteria healthy. Digestive enzymes, after 40, we definitely need digestive enzyme help. And when we're eating on the run and under stress and bad food combinations, we need antioxidants, organic berries and veggies to support and protect us from free radicals. An immune builder to help the immune system stay healthy. Fiber to help the heart and digestive health. And a detoxifier. The chlorophyll helps boost what the pure body may not be really efficient at. The chlorophyll helps pick that up. Now, our whole body has health issues. Brain fog, heart health, skin health, digestive issues, inflammation. Can you relate? Digestion, one study showed 70% of women have a digestive issue every day that affects their performance. Metabolism, weight loss, low energy, muscle aches, poor sleep. All of these are tremendous, and they all have to work at peak. And there's one component that can feed the proper functioning once we get rid of the junk and provide the nutrition. Hemp oil. This is the newest product. It's been around for a few years, but in a high quality is really important. You see, it's one of the most highly studied plants on the earth over the last 10 years. And all CBD oil is not created equally. Many companies have imported isolate CBD oil from China and India. In fact, like everything else, more and more hemp is being resourced or sourced out in China and India, in other nations where they have very low quality standards. We all have an endocannabinoid receptors throughout our entire bodies that are present from birth to death, and they are critical. These molecules function much like CBD and cannabis in regulating mood, pain relief, and many other functions. But as with most functions in our bodies, they get sluggish as we age. Calm. This is the tincture CBD oil. It has seven reasons, but there's more. Helps fight temporary inflammation, joint soreness, injury, and I'll show you something on that in just a minute. Eases everyday stress, just being more relaxed and not being all uptight. Calms joint discomfort, supports restful sleep, and this is one that I can really appreciate. Promotes a healthy heart, fights free radicals, and supports exercise recovery. It's full spectrum, organically grown hemp, non-GMO, advanced absorption because of our particle size, and it has zero THC. That's the psychotropic factor in the cannabis. So this new premium hemp oil, rich in cannabinoids for the entourage effect or the synergy. They work together. You need all of them. Each serving provides 25 milligrams of cannabinoid or CBD for a total of 750 per bottle. And that's a month's supply. Benefits: superior non-GMO phytocannabinoid-rich hemp oil provides calm that affects the temporary inflammation, discomfort, and stress while supporting restful sleep. Whole body benefits. It's full spectrum. It's produced from 100% USA grown in Colorado hemp and contains a full spectrum of terpenes, flavonoids, and cannabinoids. It's refreshing taste. It has organic peppermint oil, and that's the only reason you need to shake the bottle is to make sure that the flavoring gets dispersed throughout because that may separate. But it's pure hemp oil, so the oils do not separate like in many other products. The advanced absorption, a superior formula uses advanced nano-emulsion technology. Placing a half a dropper or placing your dosage underneath the tongue, most of it will be absorbed there within 90 seconds. And incredibly effective. And gives you a quick response. Zero THC, and that's documented by third-party testing. Soothe is a balm used to isolate or in isolated areas to help fight temporary inflammation, soothing relief for muscles, eases joint discomfort, promotes healthy skin, and supports exercise recovery. There are things in this hemp that is focused to give us the best quality and the highest amounts of CBD oil. It's a full spectrum, and again, the same hemp product is in the balm as in the tincture, but by applying it topically, you can direct it to the skin that you want or target a small area. And each batch is third-party tested. The company that produces this is Touchstone Essentials. Now, who are we? Who are we? A community rooted in goodness. Wide variety of people, but our focus is doing it right, non-GMO, organic, whole, unaltered nutrients that are optimize the cellular absorption, remove the toxins, and provide those essential things for our ECS system, the endocannabinoid system. We're based in North America, but we ship to 60 plus countries, and we're over 6.5 years old and growing strong. What do we have? We have a variety that read like a recipe for good health, filled with organic fruits and vegetables, never any toxic or synthetic additives. Pure plant-based nutrition to unlock your potential. Now, just a side note, you don't have to be a vegetarian to maximize the benefits. Just make wise choices in the animal products that you consume. And who's it for? All ages, athletes, all activity levels, everyday people. Rob B here in the middle, he was diagnosed with a severe cancer, opted to not do the chemotherapy and all that, went to plant-based nutrition, is living months longer than they expected and doing well. Snowmobiling, bicycle riding, riding horseback with his grandchildren. It's a powerful thing when you give your body what it needs. It's not a treatment for these diseases. It supports your body to function at its peak. pro athletes. People really appreciate getting the power of nutrition that they can use. Now, what's happening in the universities around the world? Well, these are the conditions that are showing positive results by supporting the body with proper hemp oil, CBD oil, in diabetes, cancer, immune support, and also treats the side effects of chemotherapy and cancer therapies. Heart disease, arthritis, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, ALS, seizures, epilepsy, neuropathy, joint pain and stiffness, autism, and more. Understand, this is something that can affect all of the physiological functions of the body. If you have questions or want to learn more, text or call me. Now some results. This is my wife's foot about one Saturday morning. Our grandson woke up early, and so she was at 4 in the morning walking through the living room with him and stubbed her toe on the piano bench, hit her knee hard too, and this was her toe later that morning. 4 a.m., stubbed her toe, hit her knee. 7 a.m., took Calm and applied Soothe. 7 p.m., we did a 2-mile walk and she was pain-free. And if you've ever stubbed a toe, you know that's very unusual. And other things that have been reported: better sleep, relief of joint pain, being able to get up from the chair without wincing and knee pain or ankle pain, playing with the children and being able to move better without that constant debilitating pain. Less anxiety from stress and PTSD syndrome, just feeling calmer and more relaxed and able to keep your focus. Relief of muscle cramps. Many conditions have that cramping or misfiring of the muscles, if you will, and lose coordination and control. This has been very helpful. And just overall feeling better, just a sense of well-being. Why does that happen? Well, it affects all of your body functions, as we saw earlier, the physiological functions of the body. Other things: mental sharpness, better memory has been reported, and it has a protective effect on the nerves, preserves nerves function. This is why I make the statement: the greatest potential for living well longer that I have seen in 45 years, because of its broad spectrum. It's one of those things that sounds too good to be true, but it is true. If you have questions or want to know more, call me, text me at this number. Be glad to answer your questions. Now, the second step, superfoods. We've talked about the super green juice, and there are some others that Touchstone offers as well, but it really helps in that energy, metabolism, digestive, and heart health. And to detox, for the brain fog, sleep, immunity, and get rid of that toxic exposure, lower your toxic body burden. So living well longer, remember these 3 key factors: removing toxins, nutrition in the cell, and control your stress response. So we have these 3 components. We can detox with the pure body and remove the toxins. We can get nutrition into the cell with our whole green foods, processed temperatures so we don't destroy any of the cofactors, making it readily available for your cells to function at their best, so you can express your genetic potential. And it controls the stress response, so you're more relaxed, less cortisol pumped out, and less inflammation, and all of those beneficial things when you remove the toxins, nourish the cell, and help control stress and reduce inflammation. Now, how can you get started? Well, first of all, you can become a customer. Just go to the website. This is my website, or if the person invited you to this call, go to their website. Order the products. You can order at retail, and that's just fine. That's your choice. But I have a better suggestion. Why don't you become an affiliate? This is a free wholesale member, and you buy the products then at wholesale, and you can earn commissions of anybody that you know or likes what's happening to you, and they want to try it too. They want to become fully functional. They can buy it through your website, and you receive commissions. You get referrals and commissions on anyone that buys from your website on that first level. And it's a free done-for-you website. All you have to do is come up with a name, and they'll say if that's open, and you can have that name. And the third, those that see this are looking to want to create a business, whether it's small or big, a business that really impacts people's lives. Our purpose is to make people live longer. The bonus is that it can become profitable. And so this is a visionary business owner, and you can make that choice. Contact me or the person that referred you to this webinar, and we'll get you started on what's best for you. So join the movement. Thousands of people are doing this. Thousands of people are having the best years of their life because they're providing what the body really needs, getting rid of the junk, providing the nutrition, and providing their endocannabinoid system with the stimulation to live with full genetic expression. It is time to improve your journey through life. Join now. Go to my website or contact the person who invited you to this webinar. Thanks for your time. My wish for you is to live well longer. This is Dr. Darrell.